I played Doom on the PS4 start to finish, and I thought it was a fantastic game. Really enjoyed it. Felt like it was made by people who knew what Doom should be. There's not a big focus on story. There is story, but there's not a big focus there. It's basically run like crazy, shoot a lot of stuff, and just keep going, and that's what I feel like Doom should be. So, man, did I love that game. And when I heard that it was coming to Switch, I was ridiculously excited because I was like, well, any excuse to jump back into Doom again is fine by me. And I wanted to see how it turned out for the Switch because I knew there would have to be some concessions made in the port. But now that I've put in a very good amount of time at the game, I'm absolutely floored by this version of Doom. I do not know how they managed to make it so close to the other versions. Yes, there are some downgrades visually, but all in all, the game looks fantastic. But more importantly, it plays ridiculously well. If you're worried that this is going to be way too watered down to be worth a look, I can tell you you're 100% wrong about this. Doom's one of the most impressive ports for any system I've ever seen. The whole time I've been playing Doom on the Switch, I'm like, how did they make this happen? How did they do this? How can this look like this? Again, it doesn't look as good as the other versions, but it looks pretty damn close. I mean, I'm super impressed. There's got to be some sort of black magic going on behind the scenes, which I guess is appropriate because it's Doom and there's all kinds of weird stuff going on. But yeah, the guys that handled this port, holy crap, have they really outdone themselves. I'm not big into graphics. I don't really care about graphics, but obviously when we're talking about Doom, coming from PS4 and Xbox One to Switch, you got to talk about graphics a little bit. And yes, there are a few things here and there where you're like, I can see they had to make some concessions. But by and large, this is absolutely amazing. I really can't say enough good stuff about it. I'm completely not sounding like myself in this review because I'm like, let's talk about graphics and frame rate, but though I feel like, those are points people are going to want to hear about for this port. So yes, frame rate has been brought down to 30 frames per second where the other versions were 60 frames. And that made me a little nervous. I was like, I wonder how it's going to feel, how it's going to play, but again, I don't understand it. I don't get how it works, but it feels so good. That speed, that fluid response that I felt from the other version is still here. I honestly don't even notice it, and that's not me pretending and just, saying, this is good enough. I really don't notice it. Now, if I went and played the PS4 version like tonight and then played the Switch version right after, I'm sure I would notice, but if you're just playing the Switch version, or I've certainly had a few months pass since I played the PS4 version, I really don't feel it just feels good, it feels right, it plays well, it's just really enjoyable to run around and everything feels like it's doing what it should be. It's just fluid and fast and a lot of fun. It's amazing, it really is. Another area where I was worried was loading times, and I remember the loading times in the PS4 version being a little bit longer than I expected, but nothing bad at all. And that's the exact same case here. To be completely honest, when I would die, yes, I did die a few times, when I would die, I'd put the controller down and pick up my phone to do something, and the game would be ready to play before I even noticed, and I was like, I expected it to take longer. I don't know, in my head I just thought it was going to take a while, but it really doesn't. You're not waiting 2 minutes on a loading screen or anything like that. This whole game is such a technical marvel beyond anything I can comprehend, but this is the real deal, man. Yes, there are downgrades visually. Yes, there's a downgrade in frame rate, but this is the real deal. I feel like the experience of Doom isn't compromised at all here. You're still getting an absolutely awesome, balls-to-the-wall, crazy, fun game here. I feel like I should talk a little bit about what Doom is for those who haven't played this game on another system. So, you're this guy, and you're in this facility on Mars, and they're opening a portal to hell to harness energy, because they can use this as an unlimited source of energy to help people, but surprise, opening a portal to hell means bad things come out, so things start to go crazy, and then of course there's somebody at the facility who's like, I love bad things and evil, and I want it to take over the whole world, so the story's there for a bit of fluff. I'm not saying it's bad, it's just, nobody's playing Doom for the story. So what you are doing when you're playing is running around like a maniac with all sorts of crazy weapons and blowing up lots of bad guys. That's what the whole game is about. There's a very good pace to the game, so you'll have moments where you're wandering around a facility looking for a key card or something like that, or going to your next objective, and there'll be some enemies to pick off along the way, but then you'll have these sort of cipher things, and when you interact with them, it opens up a whole wave of portals for enemies to come in, and then it's crazy. There's a ton of enemies running around, and it's very easy to get killed because enemies hit hard, so you have to use some strategy. Plus, there's this thing where you can attack enemies and they'll start to blink blue, and that means you can go in close for like an overkill. I forget what they're called. Some sort of physical kill, and when you do that, it'll make the enemy pop out some health. So if you're in need of health, you can go in and run in quick and do that, or if you're trying to stay alive because you got a good amount of health and you don't want to lose it, you can hang back and try and pick enemies off from far away. I mean, you have rocket launchers and automatic rifles and plasma guns and a pistol, and all these things can be upgraded in all sorts of ways for charge time or explosive shots or zoom-in stuff, all different things to augment, as well as your body. You can augment things on your body to change your abilities and make you a better fighter while you're trying to take on the forces of hell. So there's customization and upgrades and all that, but really, it's just about going absolutely crazy and fighting a whole bunch of demons, and it just feels ridiculously fun. Like, it perfectly encapsulates what the original Doom games were about, and that's something the franchise lost for a while there, but this brings it back in a big way, and man, it is a blast to play. I also got to say that the soundtrack is such a big part of Doom. It heightens the experience in so many ways, and that includes the slower moments and the all-out crazy moments. It's not even a genre of music I normally enjoy, but it is so perfect for Doom, and it does so much to really make the game feel that much more intense. I cannot get enough of it. It's one of the most perfect soundtracks for a game I can think of. When you're like out there fighting the demons and you hear like the double kick drum and the guitar going crazy, and you're like, yeah! You just it's just that feeling. It's that intense feeling. It perfectly matches it. When that music kicks in, you're like, oh yeah, I'm in for a fight now. It's so good. Like, I can't think of a soundtrack in recent memory that really does as much as the Doom soundtrack does for the game. To be honest, the game is a blast, and it would certainly be a blast even if it didn't have music, but the music is so crucial to heightening that experience. I just can't tell you how awesome I think it is. I can't heap enough praise on Doom. This port is top-notch, and like I said, the game before it came to Switch was phenomenal, and here on Switch it's phenomenal. And I know Bethesda was involved with development, but I believe most of the heavy lifting was done by Panic Button, and hats off to them. The magic that they worked here is unbelievable. I can't imagine how much went into this game to make it work. And like I said, and have to keep repeating, there are visual differences. There is a drop to 30 frames per second. And yes, there's going to be a couple portions where there's frame rate hiccups. It's nothing that drops to 5 frames per second or anything like that, but it will slow a little bit. But these were few and far between for me. I think I noticed maybe 3 times when it happened through my whole experience. So nothing, you know, I'm sure Digital Foundry is going to come out and be like, it runs at 28.6 frames per second. Whatever, that's their shtick. But for the average Joe like me, nothing that ruined the experience or took away from my enjoyment by any means. If you have not played Doom, I highly recommend the Switch version. Even if you have played Doom, I recommend the Switch version. It's just fun to go through again. It's fun to see it working on the Switch. It's such an enjoyable title, and this is such a great port of the game. This is the kind of third-party support we want to see on Switch, the kind of care and dedication. Yes, it is a port, but it's a ridiculously high-quality port. This is coming from people who respect the platform, and we should applaud that and recognize that. So, Doom is awesome, it's well worth your money, and it's just all-out crazy fun, which is something I feel a lot of video games don't do anymore, and it's cool to see here. So, support it. If you haven't played this game, support it. It's a great experience, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I did.
Demonic presence eliminated. Lockdown disengaged.
Hey guys, RMC here from Go Nintendo. If you like what you saw in the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe? We'd love to have you. If you want to see what else we're up to, you can check out GoNintendo.com for 24-hour Nintendo news. You can visit us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GoNintendo. You can check us out on Twitter at Twitter.com/GoNintendoTweet. And we're even over on Instagram at Instagram.com/GoNintendo. I put all the links in the description just to make it easier for you guys to follow. Thanks a lot.